darkness served as Wakanda's shield for so long that I had forgotten it could be corrupt, just as light can lead a man to salvation or blind him in equal measure. So while the panther hunted beneath a shroud of shadows to provide for its children, its progeny was stalked in its absence. When I was driven from this land, I left my people unprotected. The decision has brought harm to us all, but I have returned to vanquish a sullied darkness of which I am now a part. I am Wakanda's prodigal son. Quote, Black Panther, T'Challa the Vampire, a key Blood Hunt tie-in. Spinning directly from the events in the Blood Hunt series, Black Panther finds himself transformed into a vampire and tasked with carrying out a key mission for Vampire Overlord. But even a dark transformation won't keep T'Challa from his duties to Wakanda, for better or worse. Blood Hunt, Black Panther, Volume 1, Issue 1. We start with T'Challa at Djalia. Djalia is a transcendent plane that represents Wakanda's collective memory. T'Challa knows he should not have come here, as only a foolish man returns to roots as poison, but his mind has not been fully his own for far too long. T'Challa is carrying the vampire spirit, and Panthers of Djalia do not want the Black Panther here. T'Challa trespassing here will not be easily forgiven, and a debt must be paid. Black Panther says, I have come seeking help, aid, a way to protect the people of Wakanda, to serve as you have served. These Panthers are a collective memory of former Black Panthers, including T'Challa, father, and other known Panthers. His plea is met with aggression as one of the Panthers leaps onto T'Challa and holds him down in the water, telling him that he's only brought death and the Wakanda will never fall again. They are slaves to neither man nor God. Previously, the Dark Force dimension has erupted and began to create an eternal night as the sunlight gets cut off, allowing vampires everywhere to launch a brutal attack against humanity. As a member of the Avengers, Black Panther fought a group of vampires called Blood Coven who had brought all this about, but he was mortally wounded during the battle. Blade revealed he was the mastermind behind the invasion, but turning T'Challa into a vampire and sending him on a quest to retrieve a key piece of Blade's plan. At the Temple of Bast, he wakes up alone. However, Black Panther is still a vampire, and the person who turned him is Blade. As T'Challa does not want to take the heart-shaped herb, he pushes away, but then digests it. As we learn, Thor is kept alive to feed off God's blood, and Blade is drinking the blood of Thor. After hearing someone approaching, T'Challa hides from the temple guards. The temple guards then takes a smell from the bowl that contains the herb and immediately calls for more guards to come. Meanwhile, T'Challa knows these catacombs like his own heart and easily makes it past all the guards. Because T'Challa is also a vampire, he can hear the hearts of each one of the pursuers. The guards do not want him to escape, but it is useless. The Black Panther T'Challa is hungry for human blood, but he has yet to taste the blood of a human. He is resisting all urges not to take a life or feed off the blood. T'Challa is running away from the guards, but suddenly one says death is the only option and attacks. This is the real Black Panther, and T'Challa remembers who he is. T'Challa says as he rips off his mask, you would choose to treat one royal born as if an animal. I am your king. Stand down. All the royal guards drop their swords, shocked. It does not appear that they drop their weapons out of respect for the king. Rather, it seems that the vampire Black Panther has the power to influence and mind control. Despite this, Black Panther still feels his mind is his own, and he believes this will be useful in engineering the Blood Coven's defeat. Black Panther has acquired the power of influence from Blade. The Black Panther walks right past all the temple guards with his new weapon in tow. At Bernin Zana, the Golden City. Bernin Zana was the capital city of the nation of Wakanda. The Black Panther says the heart-shaped herb has returned some semblance of what I once was, one who can shield and avenge the nation once more, but where to begin? Blade in astral form responds, you will begin by locating the temple ruins as instructed and have the impossible city deliver the site to me. Do you really think you can save your people? The stubbornness only prolongs Wakanda's suffering. I choose you because you know the terrain, because you are the last of the first, but maybe that was a mistake. Black Panther says, It was, Blade, a mistake. As he jumps off the monument, the Black Panther jumps from rooftop to rooftop. The dark forest has blackened out all of the sky, and the light that uses to keep much of the evil out is now gone. There's only darkness, and only moonlight, and no hope of a rising sun tomorrow. The sun once banished these demons with its rays, but it also eroded humanity's vigilance. Humankind grew weak under daily assurance of its light. The Black Panther feels that devoid of the sun's luminescence, humanity's soft underbelly will soon become an open wound. We come to the market of Zana, where the Adze, mother of Pestilence, is devouring all the market goers. She says to the Black Panther, "There is no meal here for you to share, my brother. Let me be. It has been eons since I fed this well." Black Panther says, "You will pay for what you have done." Adze, as he goes straight towards her, she swats him away and says, "I shall not. I said, leave me be." Black Panther emphatically says, "Never, demon," as he slashes his claws at her head, hitting her chest a little bit. Adze does not want to battle anymore and says, "Jealous wretch, there are countless of cities where you might feed, and yet you come here to forbid me of my full belly. A curse will find you soon enough among my scraps." Adze flees, but she will heal and likely return with many monsters. Endless nights have been unleashed, but suddenly T'Challa feels hungry, and he has demons of his own. As T'Challa licks his lips, the hunger is starting to become insatiable. Just then a knife goes to T'Challa's neck. It is Shuri. The sound of her voice returns Black Panther to humanity. The knife around his neck is unnecessary, but the Black Panther knows Shuri is always over-prepared. Knowing and seeing that the Black Panther is not fed, Shuri trusts him not to turn on his own sister. She believes his will is too strong. She cuts her hand and with the blade and says, "Feed." The Black Panther realizes he couldn't break away at that moment, but he sees a look of pity on Shuri's face and the tears running from her eyes. The Black Panther tells her, "Shuri, that's enough. I don't need any more blood." Suddenly, the woman that Adze was feeding on wakes up, transformed and hungry, and says, "But I still hunger." Shuri quickly dispatches the newly transformed creature of the night with her blasters. With her back turned to the Black Panther, she tries to come up with a solution to the problem and realize they need the Avengers' assistance. However, when she turns around, T'Challa's gone. Black Panther says the city is in chaos, monsters hunt freely among men, and soon the frenzy will be added by the cloak of endless night. There are far too few of us willing to stand as ramparts against the ongoing hordes, to serve as a beacon of light in the darkness. We are not prepared. I was not prepared. T'Challa looked down at the vampires attacking his people of Wakanda, killing them and turning them in. The Wakanda soldiers hold the vampires off with UV spotlights, burning them before they can pass. Black Panther slashes to the vampires with his claws or stakes, while the Dora Milaje follows up behind them, flanking them from the back. Black Panther says, "Darkness has served as Wakanda's shield for so long that I have forgotten it could corrupt just as light can lead a man to salvation or blind him in equal measures. While a panther hunted beneath a shroud of shadows to provide for its progeny, it was stalked in its absence. When I was driven from this land, I left my people unprotected. That decision has brought harm to us all, but I have returned to Wakanda as a skilled darkness of which I am now a part. I am a Wakanda prodigal son. This battle for Wakanda has lasted for over 7 hours. T'Challa is so hungry and exhausted after the battle that he falls to the floor asking for help. Blade's spirit comes to T'Challa while he lays motionless on the ground. Blade's spirit says, "Pathetic, a wayward child you wouldn't hurt if you would feed." T'Challa, accept what you are. Recognize the gift I've given you. Look at you, the last of the first bastion, the final champion, perhaps the strongest of my Shians, groveling here on the ground, a puzzling abstinence, son. You need to feed. Even in a weaker state, T'Challa slashes at Blade's spirit, but of course it's just a spirit, so it's useless. Blade hits the ground with no strength and says, "But I am your seer, and you will obey, or you will see how much pain a man can endure when denied the relief of death. Do not test me, T'Challa. Either you find the temple that your gods have hidden from me, or I'll raise Wakanda myself to get it. Blade will destroy all of Wakanda if T'Challa doesn't find the temple." Somebody calls to T'Challa, but the Black Panther isn't talking to Blade anymore. He's talking to Shuri as a hologram. Even amidst all the pain, hunger, and defeat, Shuri, his sister, surely is a joy to him. Black Panther wants to know where Shuri is. She's somewhere safer now under the presence of an artificial sun, but its power is finite. Our resources are limited, and is our mobility at the moment. If Shuri leaves, they are at risk. The artificial sun will run out, but probably the resources will run out before that, as there are vampires surrounding this place. She has people saved, scientists, historians, politicians who can help rebuild Wakanda. Shuri tells the Black Panther that the Dark Force has been unable to penetrate Latveria's borders, which is the home of Dr. Doom. We know from Blood Hunt issue 1 that Dr. Doom has magic surrounding Latveria's borders, but Black Panther has his pride. No, do not go to Doom, says Black Panther. Shuri interjects, saying, our people are dying and you are in no position to make proclamations. The Black Panther responds that the king of Wakanda is not even capable of ruling himself. Shuri wants him to listen, but he cuts the message off. The Black Panther thinks to himself, Shuri is right. My body is no longer my own. The bloodlust reverberates within me like a clarion call, as does Blade's demands. The longer I remain in the city, the more I am endangered to it. Eventually, I will become the monster I fight. The Black Panther goes to Mitsu wa Dakubo, nature preserve. He thinks to himself, the only choice to protect my people is return to exile, to resign myself to where a demon belongs, the wilderness. As he moves farther into the brush, the bloodlust Adze divorced from humanity. He is no longer tempted to act as a predator, but he has grown more appealing as prey. The Black Panther returns to the wilderness, to the natural world where there are no humans, and he feels less of the urge. However, this time he is being hunted by the Black Panther. The Black Panther is once again face to face with his namesake, a real Black Panther. No matter how far he strays, as sure as Sankofa, he ends up back where he began. Black Panther versus Black Panther. Next, Blood Hunt Black Panther, Volume 1, Issue 2.